Just log on YouTube to give your brain some new food.
Hello people, and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time on the channel, a special welcome to you. I ask that you check out the rest of my videos. If you like what you see, give them a thumbs up, leave a comment, but more than anything, I'm asking that you subscribe to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about a confusion that still lies within some Jamaicans. Not all Jamaicans, but some Jamaicans. Recently, one of my subscribers went to the mayor's office in St. Anne's Bay and he saw a few pictures on the wall, including one of Queen Elizabeth II, and my subscriber found it fascinating, and he sent through the image of the three pictures that was on the wall, which included Queen Elizabeth, Andrew Holness, and Desmond McKenzie. But as you can see in the actual image that he sent through to me, Queen Elizabeth is at the top, Andrew Holness is in the middle, and Desmond McKenzie is at the bottom. Okay, so not only the simple fact that the Queen is on the wall of Jamaica, which fascinated my subscriber, but what fascinated me is how it's lined up. It's lined up to me, it's lined up in rank. First is the Queen, then Andrew Holness, then Desmond McKenzie, who is in charge of Mayors of Jamaica or something like that. I agree to cover the subject for the simple fact that I believe this would be the third time I'm covering the subject of Queen Elizabeth, her powers of Jamaica, and why she's still the Queen of Jamaica legally, and why is there a Governor General in Jamaica. The first two times that I've covered the issue, I kind of got political. So this time I'm going to keep it in as much layman terms as I possibly can. So what I mean by that, I'm not going to get into political intricate details of rights and laws and so on and so forth. I'm just going to try to squeeze it up in a nutshell to explain to some of my subscribers and viewers how I view the situation and what I believe Jamaicans in Jamaica should do, or even Jamaicans overseas should be doing. It is fascinating to see the Queen of England on any governmental wall in Jamaica, considering that Jamaica was given its independence in 1962. However, I think Jamaicans didn't mind the Queen being on the walls of government offices in Jamaica all the way up until, I believe it was 2001, when the sanction was put on Jamaicans to have visas to travel to the United Kingdom. Prior to that, I think all Jamaicans, or most Jamaicans, were saying, well, it makes a lot of sense. Jamaica is a Commonwealth country and Queen Elizabeth II is our sovereign head. So all of that makes sense. But I think after the Jamaican government in Jamaica allowed the United Kingdom in the early 2000s to put a sanction on Jamaicans where they have to have visa to enter the United Kingdom or any other overseas territory that's under the flag of the UK, I think Jamaicans started to kind of like wanted to claim their independence 100%, kind of like exclude the Queen out of that whole circle. I can't really blame the Jamaicans for feeling that way, because I believe that if we were indeed a Commonwealth country and the Queen was indeed our sovereign head, then there has to be a whole lot of laws that were broken when Jamaicans were sanctioned to have visa to enter the United Kingdom and its territories. Again, let me put a disclaimer in this and let my viewers and my subscribers who are almost ready to criticize me, let me disclaim and say this does not affect me in any way. I possess a legal status to visit and or reside in the United Kingdom or its territory if I desire to do so. The reason why I decided to highlight that, I don't want anyone that's watching this video to think that it's a personal cripple for me why I'm making an issue out of this. This is not about me. This is about my Jamaican people. This is about law, and this is about fairness. If the United Kingdom wrote the law, they should withhold the law, because when other people break the law, it's a big deal. I believe that Jamaicans in Jamaica should demand more from the government at the moment is Andrew Holness and the Jamaica Labour Party that's reigning. They should give the Jamaican people, I'm talking about from primary school to high school to the common citizen of Jamaica, an explanation as to why is there still a Governor General and as to why the Queen of England is still the Queen of Jamaica. So at this moment, I'm not saying she should or she shouldn't. What I'm saying is give the Jamaican people an explanation. Let them know, how is it legal that the United Kingdom could sanction Jamaica to have a visa to travel to the United Kingdom and its territories while the Queen of England still is the sovereign head of Jamaica? Give them that explanation, because as long as that explanation is not given to the Jamaican people, they are forever in confusion. I mean, I'm personally in confusion because I know what the Queen represents. I know the relationship between Jamaica and the Queen. But at the same time, there's a big question sign from my part when it comes to how is it legal that the United Kingdom could sanction Jamaica while the Queen of England is still the sovereign head of Jamaica. But I'm not just going to leave it like that. I'm going to give my viewers and subscribers, in layman terms, how the Queen works when it comes to Jamaica. The Queen of England gave Jamaica its independence in 1962. However, there were a few fine prints to the contract or the agreement of independence. So I guess, like I say in layman terms, the Queen still remains the landlord of Jamaica. So technically, Jamaica do not belong to Jamaicans. Jamaica still belong to the Queen of England. So it's as if we were given independence to govern ourselves, but the land that we live on, or the land that we continue to take pride in and call home, is owned by the same person who owned the United Kingdom. Just like the government of the UK does not own England. It's owned by the Queen. It's owned by the royal family. And the government of England is just playing politics in a ground which the Queen most times don't get involved in, but is always that overlord that's watching what's going on, because prior to giving them that, they all had rules and regulation that was in place and they know that had to be followed. Even when somebody steps out of line according to the written rules, oftentimes you will see the Queen show up at Parliament and have something to say. So it's kind of like the same for Jamaica and all the other overseas territories like the Cayman Islands or Turks and Caicos that are still governed by the United Kingdom in a way, sub-governed. Or I would say the government of these countries are the sub-government, because at the end of the day, the Queen is the overlord. The Queen is the landlord. But I think where Jamaicans are not comfortable is the fact that Jamaica in the Caribbean, in alignment with other countries that have gained independence from the United Kingdom, those citizens of those countries can still enter the United Kingdom without a visa. So Jamaicans are a bit scornful and are a bit curious when it comes to seeing Queen Elizabeth being displayed on Government Wall of Jamaica. It's not a confusion, total confusion to me. I kind of just narrowed it down to politics and its corruption. Government of Jamaica, whether it be the JLP or the PNP, they tend to look out for themselves and not so much the Jamaican people. Because if they were looking out for Jamaican people, this would have been long argued, this would have been long resolved, in the sense of that sanction would have been removed, or a transparent explanation to the Jamaican people, and then nobody would be confused. So what I'm saying to Andrew Holness is this: if you explain it to the Jamaican people as to why the UK can't do that to Jamaica, then Jamaicans will see the Queen's picture in government offices and actually know why it's there. Or Jamaicans will see the Queen pictures in government offices and have a right to sneer upon it. But as long as you keep the Jamaican people in the dark, there's still going to be that confusion, that perplexion as to what's going on. What's the purpose of the Governor General again? In regards to this photograph that was sent through to me, my subscriber didn't really ask me a question about it. He just asked me to address it and put it out there. So I'm going to put it out there as a survey on my channel now and ask my viewers and my Jamaican subscribers or non-Jamaicans, y'all can participate as well. Do you believe that with the current situation of Jamaica having its independence from 1962, but with the sanctions still in place, that Jamaicans are required to have a visa to go to the United Kingdom or any other UK territories that the Queen is the sovereign head of? Do you believe that the Queen should still remain the sovereign head of Jamaica? And if your answer is yes, do you believe that Jamaicans should have to possess a visa to travel to her territories? Let me know what you think of that. How do I feel about the Queen photograph being in government offices? At the moment, I understand the legal statutes of it. I understand the legal foundation of it and the appropriateness of it. But at the same time, I also understand the confusion that it possesses while Jamaicans are pushed in this corner, kind of like shackles on their feet again, you know, lacking to roam. Here's the thing about roaming and wealth, and here's the thing about lifting the sanction from Jamaicans. True freedom is not actually roaming everywhere in this world. True freedom is having the ability to roam everywhere you want to go and choose to or not to. So what I'm saying is, if this sanction or when this sanction get lifted, not all Jamaicans gonna go to the UK or its territories. The world has gotten much smaller since the internet, and a lot of people have now kind of like got the smoke out of their eyes and see the true foreign. So the hyper foreign is kind of like played down at the moment, and with the internet, it's kind of like the world has become a level playing field. Everybody in their own individual country are starting to see that this whole hype about foreign is most case just a hype, and some people are doing way better and will forever do better by residing in their very own country. That's pretty much it, people. But before I go, let me big up some of my subscribers.
Big up yourself to the maximum.
First and foremost, let me give a New Year shout out to Margie I. Phillips. Next, I want to big up Johnny H. And of course, I have to big up one of my favorite subscriber, Light. Then I want to big up Roots Rock. And last but not least, let me big up Maxine So Blessed. Big up yourself.
Big up yourself to the maximum.
Anyway, people, that's pretty much what I have to say. I look forward to hear how you feel about this survey question. Feel free to criticize my opinion and my point of views, because as you know on my channel, I accept thumbs up and thumbs down. I accept agreement and disagreement, because at the end of the day, each one teach one. Until next time, people, peace.